Hey, how's it going? I hope you had an awesome day. Personally, I had a bit of a stickler of a day. It was quite an interesting day. It really was just kind of an interesting day. So I just wanted to share a little something that happened with me today while I whip up some supper. I have this friend, and she recently had some transport issues, so she asked for my help getting to work. Needless to say, I reluctantly responded yes. And I say reluctantly because I'm I'm trying to be more protective of my time. I've found that time is it's this much and I want to do so much. So I'm trying to be more fierce in the defense of my time and how efficiently and how wisely it's used. So anyway, picking her up was a bit of an inconvenience. I won't lie, it was quite an extreme inconvenience. It was almost 4 to 5 hours of driving daily with traffic and other factors as well. So to give you a little more context on the story, the car is more for my partner because she works quite far and I'm pretty close. So usually she drops me off in the morning and I walk myself back in the afternoon, make some supper, and it's good. But with this coworker, it was a lot more time consuming. I needed to pick her up in the morning, then drop the girlfriend off, then in the complete opposite direction, drop her off, then make my way back to work. We would leave approximately 5:45 in the morning and I'd get to work at 8. Bear in mind, I start at 7, but I get a little bit of latitude here and there because I put in the extra time when necessary. And I make a point of getting my work done in normal time. So I'm not too guarded on the whole time front of things. But for me, I wasn't entirely comfortable with coming late. I wouldn't say I'm a stickler for time. Who am I kidding? I am a stickler for time. I'm very impatient. But just because I wasn't being watched didn't mean I didn't want to come early, be on time, get my work done, and get those things going. So it was a long week. It was fairly taxing. And at the end of the week, she switched shifts. So she was on a night shift and she was having some trouble finding transport. So in her having trouble finding transport, she basically relied on me to take her for the week, or well, what I thought was the week. So this week she's on the day shift, and today what happened is she attempted to move to the day shift entirely. However, it simply wasn't possible because she's not the only person working shifts and somebody would have to make up for where she's not available. However, she then asked me to make this a recurring thing. And there was a number of things that just didn't mesh. Like in terms of time, I knew that last week was the last week. I was not doing that again. I will not do that again. That is not for me. But at the same time, I felt bad because I understand where she's coming from, understand what it means to have a transport constraint when going to work. When I did my in-service, I was in Johannesburg. I used to wake up at 6 in the morning And I used to walk along. If you're familiar with Johannesburg, it's a road called Bicard. So you have Park Station, you have the road that comes out of Park Station, and you have this road Bicard. I lived right at the corner there. I lived at a little flat called J1. I watched robberies like it was no one's business. I got robbed on my third day in Johannesburg, which was my first day coming back from work. I got a little turned around, got off in Hillbrow, made my way back through Park Station. When I finally found where I was, that's when I get robbed. It was quite hilarious. But it taught me something. It taught me that, look, where there's a will, there's a way. You're gonna get it done. On my end, I had some feelings about it. I had some feelings about the way she behaved. But what happened thereafter was she became so... One second. She became... I don't know, distance isn't the right word so much as angry. Yes, angry. She was angry with me for not wanting to go out of my way to bring her to work on a consistent basis. Bear in mind, this was taking the overall cost of the trip per week. It was multiplying it by 4. Which for me the money wasn't so much an issue as the time. The time was the most important thing. There were many things I could have been upset about, like the fact that she had lied about several things and how certain parts of her story wasn't making sense. It was almost as if she was lying to get me to react in a way that she wanted. Not just to me, but to all the people involved, her manager, etc. Excuse me. So she lied about certain things in order to get her way, which it didn't sit well with me, but it wasn't the reason that I said no when she asked me, because for me it was time. I value my time so much, and in that week, my girlfriend, she was exhausted, and she's a very friendly person. She was the one who originally agreed on my behalf, and she'll always go the extra mile for you at her own expense. So for me, it was A, she was exhausted and there was no way she was making these trips. B, I was exhausted and it was just eating into my time. It wasn't about money, it wasn't about her or about anything else so much as it was about my time and how I want to use it in the most valuable way I can possibly use it. I don't want to feel like I didn't use every minute of every day to the best of my ability. I don't want to feel like I'm not working hard enough, like I'm not giving it enough thought, I'm not working towards it. So, I'm sure some of you are thinking, this dude, he's heartless. Maybe some of you agree with me, maybe some of you don't value your time as much, and instead you put more stock in friendship and other things. But what I'm really getting at is, how far would you go to protect the things that you value, the things that are important to you? Do you even know what is important to you? Have you ever sat down and defined, this is what's important to me and this is what I need to do to protect whatever is important to me, whatever it is I value, whatever it is that I need to work on? So, I don't know, I'm a little twisted because I do feel bad. I really would have loved to assist in some ways, but in others, I'm simply just unwilling to. I'm a kind of person that if it's money, I don't mind. I'll assist with money. But when it comes to time, that's when I become a lot more One second. That's when I become a lot more skeptical, a lot more suspicious of the activities that would steal my time from the way away from the things that I deem important. Very few things I deem important. My girlfriend, her sanity, and the various projects I'm working on. I find them to drive me, to motivate me, and to take time away from that would be taking away from myself. So it's important to recognize and understand the things you value so that you can protect them and they will continue to keep you being you. That's just a little something I wanted to share. Thanks. Bye.